Hey everybody, how are you doing? I hope everybody's staying healthy. And we're here today. I got the dogs in the background. We got the kids, and then Chet is holding the camera. And I'll be doing a few exercises for you guys to do at home. I hope that you can do it with me. So if you can find any wall in your house that you can use to hit some pickleballs against, it can be any wall. We can't use the garage right now because our garage has way too much stuff. That's another job, another project that we have for this upcoming week. So anyway, so you need some tape, any kind of tape that you have at home. Also measuring tape, your paddle, of course, and a pickleball. And if you're ready to go, we're gonna get started. Are we ready? Yes.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So the first one, and Chad here is gonna follow me. Sorry, I'm gonna pick my paddle. So the first one, we're just gonna start against the wall, and I'm sure you've seen this before. And well, all you're gonna do is just hit against the wall, and you can start just doing forehand and mixing it up, forehands and backhands. And that's all you're gonna worry about, just keeping your hands nice and small. And of course, the closer you go, the tougher it gets because it's faster. And then, of course, the speed as well will make a difference. And I'm mixing it up first, okay? And if you want to do this also, you can do it. Of course, my wall has some texture, so it kind of doesn't let me know where the ball is going. With a flat wall, it would be a lot easier. But I'm keeping things interesting here. So the next one will go, and this you can do it for as long as you want. If you want to do it for 5 minutes and your shoulder can hold up, do it. If not, do it for less. Then I would go just forehand volleys. And just kind of working on your hands here, keeping that paddle out in front. And all I'm focusing on is just hitting that ball in front of me. That's all I worry about. Charlie gonna come participate? It's great for her. So you can talk. Oh, whoops. So sorry. So this is Chad is talking. Wow, I actually struggle sometimes to talk and play. But what Chad face to the paddle and also height of the ball forward. After I do that for a little bit, of course they start doing side. And now I'm gonna go to the back end and doing on the back. Okay, and you can go again. These exercises you can do it as long as you want to, as long as you feel like you need to. And then we can bring it down to the last one, which again, I used to play tennis, and I was there was a number one tennis player in the world in doubles. Her name was Kerra Black, and she's from South Africa, and she has this YouTube video of her doing tennis volleys against a wall, and it's incredible. If you get a chance, go watch it. It's amazing. So what she's doing is with a tennis racket and a tennis ball, you can do this the same way for pickleball. You get somewhat closer to the wall, and you're going forehand and backhand, and that's what you're focusing on. Just go one to the other, and you're going. Whoo, my wall is not helping me a little bit, but all I'm working on is just going forehand, backhand. And I'm pretty close, so that way it makes it faster. If you want to go further out, then it slows down a little bit. So as you get closer, it's faster, hands are faster. And I cannot, I can never do it as fast as she could, that's for sure.
Hey,
But
Simone, we had a
any
question come
questions
in
so
from
far? Sorry.
Diane
Yeah.
Davidson Baumgartner, and she wanted to know, is that a stucco wall?
Yes, it is. So it's harder. So with a stucco wall, it's harder because there is texture on the wall. So a lot of the times if it hits something different, it will move not the direction that I'm expecting, which in a way makes me react a little bit more to the ball versus with a smooth wall, you kind of know where the ball is going.
That's pretty much the
So,
questions for now if we want to keep going
okay,
on.
perfect. Okay. So the other part we're gonna need Alexis. Alexis, come on out. So Alexis is going to show here. So if you have somebody that you can do this with, if you have somebody, if you are at home with another person, you can do some similar drills, very similar drills with that other person. So can you see the two of us? Just so you know, we have a 10-year-old on
Yep.
the camera here.
Got you both in
Oh,
there.
look at that. Okay. Okay, perfect. So when you start, you just go volley, volley, nice and easy. Okay. And again, we're pretty close. You can go further out. So we get some distance here. I don't know if we're still both in the picture. Maybe.
You're good.
Okay. Okay. So then again, just working, volley, volley, keeping that ball in play. No big swings. We're not going crazy. Uh-oh. There you go. Okay. Now we're going to go switch to forehand to forehand. So all we're doing is just nice and soft touch, forehand to forehand. Here you go. And keeping those hands out in front. And the neighbors soon enough will be yelling at us for hitting balls, but it's okay. We're competing also with some construction that is going on around. Okay, and then we can switch to back into back end. Just go back into back end. There you go. And again, working here in so many things, like this is the same as if I was on the court. I would be doing the same thing, working on control. We're not trying to hit winners. We're just working together on the volleys, keeping the paddle up. Lots going on here. One of the biggest things is that people tend to overhit or overswing, and it becomes much more difficult. So, there you go. Okay, now we're going to switch. We're going to go now to a figure eight. And what it is that I will go across my body while he goes straight ahead. So when I go, my forehand goes to Chad's forehand, then he comes to my backhand, and then my backhand goes to his backhand goes to my forehand. And again, we do this on the court as well. Same way, same drill. Oh, almost for the pool. I am not diving.
While you're intensely focused on that, Simone, we actually had a question here come in from Inside Pickleball saying, quick question, on the alternating volley drills, do you use the same grip like Continental or are you changing between them?
No, continental grip. Yes, absolutely. Staying with the continental grip. Okay. Okay, Papa. I know. Yeah. Sorry. This is real life here. The other thing is that we did not measure the distance. We'll get to that in a little bit. Some of the drills we'll do, but you can also measure 14 feet and put a line and do that. Hopefully you have. We're lucky here. We have the lanai that we can do that. We also have a little bit of course, inside is a lot more dangerous. But you can do this. A garage would be perfect if our garage was clean. But also if you have a driveway that you can do that. Just you can put some tape, some slappies or cone or whatever, and then that way you know that you are the distance that you should be, which is 14 feet from one another. The other part is that we did the figure eight, and then you can do the figure eight the other way as well. So if we were to, and I'll back up a little bit, just a little bit, and then I was going diagonal. Now he'll go diagonal, and I'll go straight ahead. So then I'll go here. Okay, there you go. Chad has got some aggression he's taking out. He's gonna try to hit me here soon. I'm waiting. Okay, so again, it's just directional volley. So you're working on which direction you're sending the ball. And this is a really good control way to do it. Okay, got Alexis laughing at us. Oh, really? Okay, so any more questions, Eddie? Anything else?
Yeah, so we actually had a question come in from Thomas Tadler, and Thomas wants to know, when are you breathing during the drill? Is it on contact?
Yeah, so tendency is that, and again, I've always kind of trained myself. That's because we work a lot with clients with that because they tend to hold their breath throughout a whole rally. So what you want to try to do is let the air out when you're hitting, and then take a breath in as well. So you in and out with the rhythm of the ball. So it is, I mean, honestly, it's something that you have to work on. It's not that easy, but I believe that a lot of times why people get exhausted throughout matches, throughout tournaments, is because of the fact that they are playing, 10, 12 ball rallies, and they are out of breath because they're holding the breath in the whole. So that's a great question.
That's pretty much all the
And it's a
questions
lot
we have
harder
right
when
now.
you're doing, okay, perfect. Okay, so let's move on. So the next one, hold on. So this is gonna be takes a little bit of prep. So I wanted to do this when you guys were ready because this is to get people moving. So this is gonna require us to do a little bit of cardio. So, and which is great because again, someone, been sitting on the couch, not doing much. You don't even need a ball. All you need is just the tape measure. And we're gonna do this. We'll do the whole 20 right now. So we'll do 20 feet, which is the baseline. So I've got, okay, so I'm gonna put tape right here. So it's with 20 with the line in. And then I gotta leave that in there. And then on the 10 if I can read it, okay. 10, this is the middle, and then a 20. Oh, that can't be right. That's 20. I can't. 10. Hell, one receipt for the stuff and household, honey. And so it's for me. She, it's because uh, Catherine should be doing these with me. So these actually for their bad memory, for Athena's and Catherine's bad memories. These I used to have them do in college quite often for testing. It was for fitness testing, and this is great drills for agility. So you guys are ready for a treat here. Hopefully, I'm going to survive this. But again, start slow because if you've never done this before, you probably want to start at a slow pace. So the first one that we're going to do is that we're going to pretend that that line is the kitchen line, and we're going to do shadow swings. So everything is without a ball. You don't even need the ball. You're just doing a shadow swing, and I'll show you real quick. So the first one, we're gonna do the forehand, and hubby, you need to do 15 seconds for me. So he's gonna make me go for. Okay, so we're gonna start before we go. So we're gonna start right here. Pretend that this is your kitchen line. So we're gonna start at the kitchen line, and what I'm gonna do, I am going to shuffle to the side, hit a forehand dink, and then I recover to the middle. So what I'm trying to see is how many I can do of these in 15 seconds. Okay, so we're gonna do short. We're gonna start short. We will increase as we go on, but we're gonna start with just 15 seconds. So hold on, he's gonna tie me here, make sure I don't pull anything. And Eddie, remember I expect you to do all of these after this, and I wanna see your numbers.
I got it.
Okay, tell me when you're ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so we go 6 3/4 actually. Oh, okay, so we're going okay. So whatever that is. What did I get then? What did I get, Eddie?
What'd you get?
6.5. Okay.
Yep.
That's the number to beat, Eddie.
All right.
Catherine, what'd you get? I want to know what Catherine got. Oh, I'm dying already. No response. She's gone silent. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the backhand side. So we're doing the same thing to the backhand side with the recovery, 15 seconds again, okay? Whew. Let me know when you're ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Woo! 7.5. Gosh, I'm better on backhand side than I am on. Yeah, that's right. Yep, right side dominant. All right, this is when we take a quick drink.
While you're getting a drink, Simone, we got a question here that came in from Matthew McCully that said, if I'm
Yep.
drilling alone at home, is there a way to know I'm not repeating the same errors over and over?
Ah, man, that's a tough one. But here, um, let me think about this. Uh, I mean, there's a way that I guess maybe. I mean, like I said, I don't know it. I know I'm not a know-it-all at all. But at this point, uh, I mean, I'd be more than happy to send a short video and take a look at it. I'm offering my services, so just send it over and I'll look at it. How's that sound?
I think it sounds great.
So guess what? We're gonna do that again, okay? See if I can beat my best. Usually that's what I always did with them. I did not compete. I even though Catherine and Athena will say they always competed with each other, but I always wanted them to compete with their own best. So my personal best on the forehand side was 6.5, right? And again, a lot of the times I know I had to trick them because I would not tell them that I was testing them twice. So I would test them the first time, and then I would then tell them that I was testing them a second time because I didn't want them to kind of sandbag, go kind of easy the first time, and then the second time, then they would do a lot better. So I kind of knew when that was happening anyhow, as they got used to me trying to trick them. But this is the part where you go all out and you try to beat the first one that you had. So my goal is to beat that 6.5 here. Okay, you go. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Ow, burning. Oh man, I'm gonna be sore. That's good. Need it. Okay. Let's do it. Left side. Everybody ready? How many people are doing it? What do you think? Can we get a show of hands?
Yeah, let us know in the comments, guys, if you're actually doing these drills right now.
All right. 1, 2. Oh. Hey, it was better. Might be dead now, but it was better. Oh.
That wasn't good.
Did I?
We had a couple questions come in here about
Good, I need a
side
break.
shuffling or cross stepping, and it looks like
Good.
It looks like the
Good questions.
Yeah, Kerra Levesque said side shuffle or cross stepping.
So it's a combination of both. So whenever we take off for a ball, so you don't want to, so you're gonna cross step where you actually, so when you take off, I lead, and that's what Chad was talking about, how, and that's probably the reason why I prefer playing on the backhand on the left side versus the right side, because being right hand dominant, I push off best with my right leg. So when I go out, I push out this way, but then I square off my hips to the court. So again, it's a little bit of a combination of both. And this is what I prefer to do. That's how we teach, is that you would not, because how much time would I, I'm really out of breath. How much time would I waste if I'm going here trying to get to the ball? So that's where, again, if I was playing as real as it would be, right? I'll be standing more here. Let's say if that ball was to go wide, if that ball was to go wide, what I want to do is push off this leg, and then I'm going to try to get my left leg out and hit the ball, cross, and come back and recover. So again, I'm not just shuffling around here. So that's, yep. And the same thing goes on the forehand side, where this will go here and then right leg and then come back and recover. So let's say if we are talking about being in a better positioning here in the kitchen. So if I'm going diagonal dinking here, then I'm going there and then come back and recover. So, and that's where also the further out I get, the more explosive that first step needs to be as well. Oh, sorry. Okay, can you hear that?
Why you can't breathe?
I'm like,
no, I was saying it's a first step crossover and then a shuffle. It's not a shuffle crossover. We don't want to be hitting the ball very often with that crossover step. We want to be hitting the ball with our hips square or slightly angled behind.
Is that good?
Yep.
Okay, so now that we've done, this is the easy part, because now we're gonna progress. So this is now for the full court, and this is honestly, if you like to play singles, that might be something that you want to start doing. I actually do this for pickleball sometimes. This is a great way also to, like, if you're having a upper body injury, such as a shoulder or elbow or your wrist, that's a good way to get a little bit of time off from those sports, and then you still work on your lower body, because a lot of the times repetition is what creates that inflammation, whatever that is, if it's tennis elbow or a shoulder injury or a wrist injury, tendonitis, whatever it is, it tends to kind of flare up the more you hit, the more you do that repetition. And of course with pickleball, we get lots and lots of reps. So here we go. So this one now, when we go in the baseline, we're still doing kind of the same thing, but instead of doing the dink, we're now doing a forehand motion. So it's the same 15 seconds. And who's ready? How many people are doing it? Do we know?
We've only gotten one person put their hand up. Carmen Diaz Murray.
I like it.
Yes.
All right.
Maybe more are doing it.
All right. So here we go. So when we go now, we're gonna go to the forehand side. And again, I like to hit my forehand when I'm on the baseline. I like to hit open stance. So what it means is that I am gonna be on my outside leg like most of the time. If I'm running forward, if I'm going to hit an approach shot, then I'm stepping into that ball. Most of the time, that's what I like to do. On the back end, still it's a half and half. I'll go close stance, open stance. I mix it up more, but definitely when I'm in the baseline, I tend to be more on the open stance side. So here we go, 15 seconds, and this is when I pass out, I jump in the pool. All right, here we go. Oh, sorry. Oh man, something smells good. Neighbors are cooking. One, two, four, 6, 7, 6.5. Whew. Okay. Now when we go to the back ends, just so you know, I have a 2-handed backhand. So even on the shadow swings, I still do a 2-handed backhand. All right. Tell me when. You tired yet, Eddie?
You're making me tired by doing those.
So guess what? After this one, we do it again. Taking a drink. I need it. To my defense, I have had a little bit of congestion going on. So I am making excuses, but I'm not. I have had a stuffy nose for a couple of days. Whew. Okay. All right, let's go. So what's the number I gotta be? 6.5. Here we go. Yeah.
While you're catching your breath there, Catherine finally tuned in and she said, Athena and I are competing against each other. Sorry, we tuned in a little bit later than expected.
I like it. Send the results in. I want to see it. All right, back in. Here we go. Whew. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Words of wisdom by Alexis. Mom, try not to pass out. My kids are full of wisdom. Do you guys remember? What did Landon say to you, Eddie? Mom is losing.
Yes. We have a funny question here from Lynn Wagner. Is there an oxygen bar in the corner? Because I would surely need it after these drills. Now I'm motivated to work on my fitness.
So that's the one thing is that honestly, for me, I know that I need it because when you're teaching, we out, we are out teaching most days, every day except on the weekends. And what happens is that you don't get the time to actually work on yourself, like work in your game and I guess work on my fitness. So I've been talking, Chad and I and Catherine and Athena have been talking about getting together with a trainer. And then, of course, time never comes available, never available to do it because we're teaching so much. And so that's something that I know that I need to work on. And so I guess this is a good time to get started with it. So I'm going to keep up with it. And hopefully I will be better by the next one because this next one is definitely going to kill me. So this one now we're going full court. So I'm going ground stroke, forehand to backhand. So we count every time I come back to the middle. So I go forehand, middle, backhand, middle, forehand, middle, backhand, middle. So this should be fun. So here we go. Ready? Oh, we. Woo. Okay. No, this is not it yet. Yeah, we got one more. Right. So this one. So for this one, I just gotta, so there's one more. Last one, I promise. By the way, so for this, we're doing, this is very, very much, so make sure that I get this right. Struggle. So on this, we're gonna go 15 feet. And the reason why we're going 15 feet on this one is because this is baseline to the kitchen line. Okay, and we all know that that is a movement that we all can work on. And so with this one, what we're going to do is that we're gonna start from the baseline. So it's a sprint forward, and then you're going to get here, and you're gonna do a split step, and then you can jog back, okay? Sometimes, and again, it all depends. If you feel good, you can do like you definitely do not, please do not trip on your own feet. Actually, let's stick with the jog back, okay? That's much safer for all of us. Okay, so again, 15 seconds. Do you have your, okay. So 15 seconds, just see what we get. Okay, so that's a good start. And what you can do from there is just like I would ramp it up your reps. So you can go to start, and we'll do one more actually. I'm pretty sure I skipped on the baseline. I'll blame that on you. You're the coach. Tell me when. Oh, did I slack off that bad? I know. All right. Hi, Eddie. How are we doing?
Great. We've had a lot of incredible comments out there. One question that came in here was from Rodney Langley, And Rodney asks, how much power are you putting into the swing? Is this mostly for footwork cardio, or are you ripping the shots?
So I am. So a lot of the times when we're doing these, we want to make sure that we want to make sure that they look as real as possible. And actually, I'm going to sit down and stretch. I'm going to take Athena's word advice so I'm not super sore tomorrow. But so I want to swing because I want to make it like feel and look just like my regular swing. And so again, tennis players do these drills on the beach because sand offers resistance. So you'll see, I think, so this is actually Justin Hinnon. I like when she was playing a few years back. Those are hers. I know that theme now. There's a lot of stuff on sand. A lot of the players will also do it on grass because again, it takes a little bit of the pressure from the joints and it offers a little bit more resistance. So if you have, actually you can do these anywhere you want. So if you have a grassy area, and if you don't have the, concrete, then I would highly recommend that you do it in the grass, especially if you are having some knee problems, some joint problems, hips, whatever it is. The softer surface is easier, but sometimes also better in the sense of offering some resistance. And that's why so many athletes train on sand. So, yeah.
Okay. A couple comments here I wanted to bring up. We got one here from Athena Trouillot, and Athena saying, one thing Simone definitely used to her advantage was that she realized we would always push ourselves harder when we would compete against each other.
That is true.
And she has one more comment saying, don't forget the pretzel stretch.
Oh, oh my gosh. It's, oh, except that then I don't want this. I don't want the visual. I'll do it. I'll do it later. I gotta protect the viewers, whoever is watching.
We have a question here from Phyllis Olex.
Yeah, this one. She was too like. I know that's. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, what is it? Yes, absolutely. And again, a lot of the times when you get, especially when you get to the to the to the kitchen line, paddle should be up and ready position. But definitely don't want to run with the paddle to the side.
Got another question here from Pauline Holshouser. Pauline wants to know, is there a drill to strengthen the backhand?
There are, I would say one of the things, especially with is she can you ask a I'm gonna ask another question. She's talking about a one-handed backhand. Is that correct?
I assume so. Pauline, if you want to throw it in there, whether you're talking about a one-handed or two-handed backhand.
Because there's different ways. That's why I have to ask.
Well, while we're waiting for her
so
to
I'll
respond
talk about
here.
the one-hander.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll talk about the one-hander first. So the one-hander, the one thing about the one-hander is that a lot of us, it's the forearm strength. And I can tell you that I'm not an expert, far from it. But my experience in athletics is that the little rubber bands, what are they called? TheraBands. Those are the best to do any kind of, anybody that has gone through physiotherapy, you should be very familiar with these. Help putting a ton of, not their resistance bands or strength those that we don't use. I rarely use my muscles, so it's really, you can use shoulder and forearm and pretty much everything. So where you do that, you try it, pull or anything. Again, I think you can actually them. You can put it on your foot, do it, much do exercise. A lot of them, the exercises like a paper, and they different colors because color means resistance. So if you're never familiar with it, haven't done it, you can start with your weight and move resistance and a little bit more resistance. That would be one. The other, of course, doing repetition of making technique is thing that I a lot of the time. Uh, what we see uh, teaching and this the grip we see people have way again. I the fact that times it comes up is really to have firm wrist here, you have a firm wrist, and you volley like that. For both understand really much easier. I get that, but for to develop, want to get the lead, the best is to have continental. When you have continental, you can actually hit balls anywhere. And of course, when it gets higher, it is tougher because the wrist break, and that's where strengthening that wrist that then it helps when you punch it through, the wrist stays nice and firm versus sloppy. So that's another way. For a ground stroke with the one-hander is another thing as well, is that a lot of the times when we see people is that they tend to flick their wrist, and that actually hurts my wrist to do that. So a lot of the times when you're hitting with one hand, you want to make sure that you keep your wrist nice and firm through your stroke, and that low to high, nice and smooth, one motion, preferably. And again, with that wrist, it's not locked, it's not like tight and stiff, but it is staying kind of in and not coming over. So actually my wrist flex when that happens. So that's the one-hander. For the two-hander, which again, a lot of us tennis players are familiar of getting used to hitting left-handed, because a lot of the times the reason why I use the two hands is because I get to use my two arms, so I get more power and actually more control. My left arm comes for power, and then my right arm comes for control, along with, of course, I engage a lot more muscles. So I'm engaging my core, I'm engaging my upper body. So when I come through, so you can actually practice hitting balls with your left arm. And of course, I choke up because that's where I'm using that arm. And then transition into two arms and making sure that fully extends, again, because if I'm hitting two hands, but my left arm is really tight into the body, then it's the same, might as well not use two. So I want to extend my arms through full extension. So, whoa, did I go too deep into it? I think I got into it.
That's good stuff. We have a question here from Suzanne Danhauer Millay. It says, how many times per week would you recommend for these endurance drills?
So we used to do agility with them twice a week. So, and again, that is because we had a pretty strict schedule for them. So this is what I would recommend, no matter what time it is. But what I would recommend in a perfect world, where you do have the time to do it, to dedicate to that. And again, I always feel like you can make the time because it is for you if you want to get better and you want to improve, is doing and whatever kind of lifting that you can do that twice a week. And I always believe that the best weight trainers that we had always didn't they focused on more of the low weight and like higher rep. I loved interval training. Like we had a couple of trainers who did interval training. Not only is more enjoyable, I think that and Catherine and Athena can probably tune in, like they can chime in on it and say what is more also like what do they feel they benefited the most, and what that was more enjoyable. Because again, I feel like if you're gonna do something, you gotta enjoy it. So if you're doing maybe a little bit of a interval training twice a week, with going to different machines and doing different, or just kind of body weight, some of it too, you can do it at home. And if you guys want, I can probably connect with Anthony and get something going online as well. I think that would be great. But the other part is that then you do the twice a week, and then twice a week doing agility. And sometimes we did also interval running, so it's like a jog and run. So we did that a lot because of the fact that, again, and pickleball and tennis are a little different, but you can do it in the same as, so if I was to watch my pickleball points in relationship to my tennis points, the pickleball, like singles, for instance, they're shorter. So I would do my sprint to jog ratio, probably like 10-10. So 10 seconds of like a sprint and 10 seconds of a jog. So that way it relates more to a pickleball point or a pickleball game. So if you wanted to do it that would be probably a good way too. And then the agility, so then you can implement the agility. So you do a little bit of the cardio with the agility, and that you can do that twice a week. So that would be 4 times a week that they were always doing some sort of activity outside of actually hitting balls. And the workouts vary in time. So it depends on the time of the season or the time of the year, how busy you are with tournaments. Right now, probably for most of us, it should be the time that we train harder than during the season. So off-season training is probably much more endurance and strength than during the time when you're busy, because you want to maintain your fitness level.
Awesome. And we have one more question here, and this is what I would consider to be the absolute most important question of the day, and that is, which end of the pool are you jumping into when you're done with this video shoot?
I'm not jumping. I know everybody, honestly, I've had a sore throat, and I've had like my
Almost like 60 degrees.
that there is no way. The kids yesterday and Chad were jumping, and I actually had a few friends, and they are like, "When are you jumping?" And I'm like, "Not now, not in the next who knows how long." But the pool, actually, it is warm out, but the water temperature is not that warm. I am like, water for me has to be warm. I like it warm, so I would jump in my hot shower and take a nice and warm shower. And but this actually, to be honest, exercising and doing all these actually alleviated some of my pressure. So, and again, I will definitely keep this up. I do want to know, like, I want feedback from everybody, because again, I want to do this to help people who are out there. Maybe you are at home and you're feeling bored, and you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And my thing is that there is hope for sure. I do believe that we're gonna come out stronger than ever, and we'll be okay. Just do our part. And again, whatever I can do to help, I am like, that's what I'm here for. I feel like that's why I am here. But anyways, I just want to send everybody lots of loves, lots of air hugs and kisses. And just know that whatever we can do, our family is here for you. And we have so many people who have been, here for us. And so this is our time to be here for you. So whatever it is that you guys want and need, just let me know.
All right. Thank you guys very much. And we'll see you soon.
Yeah, so then if we can get some feedback, because I can, whatever, and again, that's yours as well, whatever we need, I can, I can come up with stuff in a heartbeat. I will do these whenever people, you can, and people want to do it. So just give me feedback, please, and we'll keep on doing it.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Say goodbye, Simone.
Thank you.